Tony, talk a little bit more about sort of the after part of how your life became sort of more, I mean, you had these feelings, you said you always had faith, there was always a knowing about you, but it seems like your sister's passing just amplified the heck out of that. So what started to happen in your life? How were you different?
Well, from the first night, the night I got the news that she passed, as Anthony was saying, I was always a feeler, but again, I was labeled as too sensitive, so I would try to shut that down. But after Joey passed, from that first night, I could feel people praying for me. I could feel it, and I can only describe it like as a hug. It was so weird. And when they would forget and they would stop in the next 48 hours, I would reach out to them and they're like, oh, I wasn't praying. Okay, I will pray again. And so that was the first thing. Then the next thing that started happening is I was noticing numbers all the time, 111, 222, 333. And I was like, what is this? This is so bizarre. And again, I come from a science background, so I was trying to find the meaning of how can statistically I keep seeing this number or these numbers all the time. How come I never noticed them before? So then I started looking them up, and I was like, wow. Like you look under angel number and angel meaning, and I'm like, geez, this is right on point. And so I went to a psychic medium, and he couldn't read me. Nothing was coming through. And he's like, do you want to try Reiki? And I'm like, what is that? And he's like, well, it's like hands-on healing, this, that. And that helped me so much with the grief that I just said, I have to like get this more in my life. And then he said, then he was able to read me, and he says, you're really supposed to do this work. And so then he gave me my first Reiki attunement. That really opened me up even more. So a lot of the gifts that I had younger started to come back in this cellular memory. And then what happened, because that helped me so much, and because it opened me up, I found other related modalities. So then it was sound healing, reflexology, aromatherapy. Then I was like, okay, well, I just need to open up a place and start doing this for people, because this helped me so much. So that's really how it started. It started with recognizing that feeling of support. Again, it was probably otherworldly for sure as well, but also I could feel people supporting me and praying for me, and I was like, that was weird. And then the angel numbers, and then the Reiki attunement, and then one thing left to another, and then just trusting it and now, like, I get a little snarky, because I'll tell you what happened yesterday. So I was meditating, and I said, wow, this is wild, because I haven't looked at a picture of my parents in like years, and I'm like Anthony, I don't see, I just know, and I feel, and I hear. So, which was really hard to admit, because I'm in the middle of two mentally ill sisters. So just saying, he was afraid to admit it because they thought he might be addicted again. Mine is because cuckoo crazy, right? So, so I was meditating, and I could clearly see, haven't looked at a picture of my mom or my dad for a very long time, and I'm like, wow, this is wild. Like, I can see their faces so clear. But my sister, no. My sister wasn't coming to me. I couldn't picture what she looked like, and she was the most recent loss, 7 years. So I was like, this is weird. So I'm driving yesterday, and all of a sudden, a truck pulls in front of me, and I'm like, you're kidding me. Her name was Joey. It was first and last name on the truck, Joe Maggio. I have it on this piece of paper, and I have it on my phone. And so now I get snarky, and I'm like, okay, Joey, I want proof. I'm like, this guy's racing. You need to stop him, because I want video of this. Boom. All of a sudden, the traffic stops. I video it. I go, and now I want your birthday. Next truck pulls in front, 3/19, her birthday. So that's why I kept going, because all these things kept happening, all these synchronicities that were undeniable, and now I just play with it a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, just talk about playing around with it. But how did you reconcile all of what you just described with the fact that you have this scientific background? Like, to me, I would be like...
That will take forever. Everyone just look up sacred geometry and quantum physics. and you'll know. You can be a scientist, and in fact, it makes a lot more sense.